Hey, everybody. Wow. Cliff, Adam, Rich. See, Ryburn's made an appearance. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. Here, let me see if I can't fix the camera a little better. So get my TV out of it and get more of what we're here to see. See if I can do it without totally losing the picture. Sorry. That's a little better. Sorry, guys. So, how's everybody's weekend going so far? Going good? Trying to. There we go. Hey, Mike. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Got four of us watching now. Like I said, I'll give people time to get here. I always like to wait till at least five people show up, and then we're good to go. Adam, yeah, Dennis. Hey, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Glad you got my message to Fry TV. Pretty cool how I did that. I don't know if you got to see that video yet, but pretty cool stuff. Hey, all right, we're up to five already. Well, guys, sorry for going on later than I thought, but I got on a roll on moving and wanted to get going. You just don't want to stop because, you don't know when your body's going to say you've had enough. So I figured while I was rolling and the body was still good with it, I better just keep going. So I literally just stopped long enough to take a shower, and now I'm right here in front of you. So um, thank you again for spending some time with me on Saturday night. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, I am packing to move, and we packed up 16 car cases in the previous videos, and you can go back and check those out. And sometimes I have some bonus stuff in there with look what Scott's got, kind of like what we got tonight. Oh yeah, thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, I told you some good stuff. That's why I recommended it. I mean, I thought it was a brilliant idea using solar panels to power a slot car track for the back of the bed of the pickup to take to car shows to get people to come over to look at your truck. Brilliant idea. Kudos. Yeah, I made it easy on the mail person. Yeah, I was actually out in the garage packing stuff whenever my dogs tried to attack him coming up the driveway, and I actually tried to meet him before they got to him, but yeah, only three little packages tonight, which means good news. Like I mentioned to everybody that is live, I'm going to, when we're done looking at what Scott got, and then I'm just going to point the car at a section of the wall, and I'll label it like one, and then I'll just move to the next section two, and so on around, and then I'll throw it to you guys, and you tell me which wall you want to see me unpin and wipe and pack away, and then I can show the cars, all the carded cars, as close to the camera as I can get them, and tell you anything that I know about them, history wise, or anything exclusive or rarity or stuff like that. Cool. Like I said, I have to catch up a little bit because I get behind. And Adam, that uh, Mitsubishi Evo going 720s at 197, that thing must have been pushing like 60 pounds of boost. That's all I got to say. Uh, just so you guys know, the easiest way to reference boost horsepower is the atmosphere puts down about 14.7 pounds of pressure on us at all times. And so that's the air pressure that we always feel. And so a turbo, when it reaches 14.7 pounds of boost, or 15 roughly, then it's actually doubled the atmosphere that the motor's seeing. So you've effectively almost doubled the horsepower ranking of what that motor can make, because you've doubled the amount of air that you shoveled through it. But obviously, efficiency loss is going to come into that. But theoretically, that's how that works. So when someone, you say they've done 60 pounds of boost, that's 60 times the atmospheric pressure that we all feel on ourselves right now. So that's huge, 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 huge. That's why stuff likes to go boom on top fuel dragsters and funny cars and little four cylinders that weren't made to have that kind of boost. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, bar 14.7. Yep. See, I'm no scientist, but I know just enough to get me by. You know, I was one of those C students in science class and A student in shop class. So, you know. All right. So we've got 7 people. Thank you, all 7 of you, for showing up tonight for a little 3 box episode of Look What Scott's Got. And then, like I said, I'll turn the camera away from me, pointed at the wall, and say, "This is section 1. This is section 2." And then I'll come back around and say, "You guys tell me in the chat which one you want to see." And then I'll get it ready to where if it's not easily accessible to me right now, then I'll get it to where it is. And if it is, then I'll just turn the camera around and uh, start pulling them off and holding them up to the camera, wiping them down, wrapping them and sticking them in the box. So, oh, nice, Don. So, how many pounds of boost? Before we get started, I got to know. I'm a car guy. So, how many pounds of boost are you running on your big block Chevy with that 671? Is it overdriven or underdriven? 24. Holy shit. So, might I ask how much horsepower and what's the car or vehicle weigh that it's in? What's your what kind of horsepower to weight ratio are we looking at here? Are you like a 3,000 pounds at 750, 1,000 horsepower? 32 Ford. Okay, so nice and light. Still 24 pounds of boost, man. That's 427. Yeah, I'm saying you're making somewhere, my guesstimate would be between 1,000 and 1,500. Am I close? I mean, I know that's a big range, but over 1,000. Okay. Yep. Oh, wow, Adam. That's a lot of ingenuity. Yeah, to make them rear wheel drive. That's impressive. That shows some real dedication to that motor to want to do all that engineering to try to do that. But um, hats off to them. I mean, that's a lot of work. Well, guys, I can ran low nines at 145 miles an hour. Okay, so see, that's what my Mustang did at like I weighed 33.75, and with a 250 shot of nitrous on my small block Ford 349 in my Mustang, I was running 9.0s, 890s at around 140 to 145, depending on how well it hooked up and what I was mile an hour and or ET in it. So. Busher Shootout in Norwalk. Hey, good evening, U of M. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Sleeve blocks, yeah. Yeah, oh no, Don. So no, I'm right there with you. So speed's addictive, isn't it? Now you want to go faster. I do anyway. And so that's why I put away the nitrous bottle. I've decided to grow up and start walking and get rid of my bottle. I'm not a bottle baby anymore. I'm going with a couple of twin hair dryers. So I'm going to have a couple of twin turbos on mine. So I'm pushing the limits of what my rods will handle, uh, basically what I can do, or I could put more horsepower. But to buy the billet block or billet rods is, as you know, and anybody else that doesn't know out there, if when you want to go faster and you make more horsepower, the parts have to be stronger, and those stronger parts cost more money. And the rods that will take the horsepower 1,500 up are, for my small block Ford, are over $2,500 a set, which is insane. And I already have $1,300 in my rods now, which is insane. I shudder to think how many 5.3 Chevy motors I could go to the junkyard and buy for the money I spent on my motor, just to blow them up and put another one in there and go do it again. Well, Don, the 90s hasn't changed much from the 80 or the 2000s. It's just gotten faster and easier to go faster. Basically, when you and I were trying to go fast in the 90s, uh, if we told someone we ran nines, we would have been the shit. Now, if you tell someone you ran nines, it's like, that guy over there in that Camaro or that guy in that Hellcat, it's like, okay, yeah. Like I said, so it's so easy now to buy a car that goes fast with just a few modifications that I mean, there's a lot of those guys at my local drag strip. They're just mommy and daddy babies with credit cards and got a car and then got a credit card and bolt on hell. And next thing you know, they take an $80,000-$90,000 car and make it really fast. And everyone runs 10s. Yes, exactly. See, whenever my bone stock Mustang, I remember I picked it up from my 88. I had an 88 limited edition. It's called the Dominator Mustang. It was a regional Ford dealer's limited production Mustang that you could order. And long story short, I picked it up from Lee Summit Ford in Kansas, just outside of Kansas City in Lee Summit, Missouri, and drove it home. And then that was on a Monday. I took it to the shop on a Wednesday to have gears put in it. And then that Friday, me and some buddies loaded up 2 cars, one of them being my Mustang, and we drove to Tulsa, Oklahoma for their Ford shootout meet. And I literally turned my 1,000th mile on that car on that drag strip. So that kind of tells you I didn't waste any time on breaking in the car. And I thought it was cool that I ran low 13s in a bone stock 5-liter 88 Mustang. And so, yeah, things, they change. Now you tell people that and they're like, you're slow. And I'm like, well, yeah, 30 years, 40 years ago. Yeah, it was. That was fast. So what we have here, if you guys know me, if you don't already, can't tell, this is your venerable 300ZX in black with chrome rims on a 440 X2 chassis. It's a lighted body, but I don't think it's got the light in it. We'll check it out. Nope, no light. But it's got what appears to be brand new, or at least new shoes on it. So if this was used, it was not on the track. It was probably a shelf queen, because there is not a scratch or anything on it. It looks brand new. But like we always do, if we get a car, we gotta make sure it runs. Oh yeah, we got a runner. Strong one too. Damn. Cool. Good way to start the night. Add another 300 to my collection. Cool. Obviously, that's not a runner. That's going in one of the boxes. But you know, got to try to get all. I'm trying to get all those 300s. Like I said, there's 2 Japanese 300ZXs that I'm really trying to find, but they are so hard and rare. And the wallet. Yeah, I love the 440X2. Yes. Oh yeah, Mike, I knew you'd love that. That's why I was glad to see you were on here. I was like, I know there's going to be at least one person on here that agrees with me. And I mean, look at that magnet, guys. I mean, yeah, it's rolling down, but that just shows you it's a good free chassis. It's not because it's sliding. The wheels are actually rolling. So no, that would be a good runner for sure, for sure. And judging on the size of this box, I'm guessing this is going to be something new. Don't know what. I know I've ordered a bunch of new cars, but I don't know which one it is. So we'll be all surprised together. I've been too busy to look at my Informed Digest and see where the packages were coming from to know what I was getting. Who's this from? Oh, this is from Scale Auto. So, yeah, it's definitely a new car. If you guys are good into AFX stuff or want to collect some new old stock Tyco stuff, he puts up new auctions, I believe every Tuesday night, Monday or Tuesday night. Yeah, and that's what this one is. He always includes an invoice. And if you've not been to Scale Auto's website, they have access to the BSRT cars, a lot of AFX stuff. So what I got me here is the Cost Cutter Chevrolet Monte Carlo Kellogg's car. And how I know it's the Cost Cutter car, I'm looking at the TV. Yep, you can see it. The trunk lid has no Starburst advertising on it. So these here are the ones that if you're looking for the rare ones, these are the ones, because most of them came with that Starburst logo on them. And there's 2 versions of the Cars and Crew that we'll see if we pick that wall tonight or whenever we get to it. They made actually two versions of the Cars and Crew, one with it and one without it. And there's a couple other little sponsors, but that's the easiest way to tell right there. So if you're a collector, there's two versions of this car. You're going to want them both if you're a collector. So one of them will have the Starkist or Starburst, yeah, Starburst candy on the back trunk lid, and then same way with the Cars and Crews. So both of those would be something you would have to get if you wanted them both. And this is what they call the cost cutter cars right here, because they did not have those extra advertisers on them. So cool. I've already got that car, but I got a really good deal on it. So, you know, it's one of those things where if it's too good to pass up and, you know, there's only so many more of them out there, you better grab it while you can. So stick it back in the inventory, or if somebody wants it out there, let me know and I'll make you a deal on it, because I got a deal on it. I'll pay it forward. And I'm guessing that someone was really kissing some ass to the Postal Service. You're the best. And fragile. Now, what's awesome is be gentle with me. See, I mean, this is awesome. But I hear it rattling around. So, you know, I don't know how careful they could have been. Oh wow, yeah, no, by the beach. I'm glad to hear that all your stuff was safe, because that's one of the things that I'm going to do when I move is I'm going to get my collection appraised, and I'm going to bite the bullet and pay insurance on it, because um, it's reached the point of, as you guys have seen, if any of you followed along, you know that I have several thousands of dollars in cars, and some of them would be very hard to replace. Yeah. No, like I told you last night by the beach, if there's something that I can do from here in Missouri, you let me know, and I'll try to do what I can. And while I'm doing this, like I do every night, and I kind of missed it at the very beginning, but obviously it's going to take me a little bit. I'm trying to find a better spot. I want to promote stuff on the channel. First, I'd like to say that if you are a subscriber, I'm going to start out with you guys first this time. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the channel and interacting with it. And if you can't check it out live, please leave a comment below, because I do respond to all comments. It may take me a day or two because of my moving situation. But if you go back and look at every single video I've ever made, every single comment that someone's left, I've replied to, because I do appreciate it. And I do know that people's time is valuable. It's the one thing that you can never buy and never have enough of. And so once again, if you are a subscriber, thank you. And if you're not a subscriber, I would please implore you and request that you would please, if you like the content, like what you're seeing, like I've mentioned, over 50% of my views on my videos come from people that don't even subscribe to my channel in any shape, way, or form. And I would please ask you to please subscribe, even if you don't hit the ring the bell, so you don't get bothered every time I have a video coming out, but at least it'd show up in your feed. And plus, it helps grow the awareness of my channel, as well as the other channels that I'm going to mention below, which are Dan with Slot Valley Racing. You can hit his little hyperlink down there and take you to his channel. I've got Steve with Stockpile Hobbies, him and Enzo. If you're liking to watch one generation pass it down to another generation, that's a pretty cool channel to check out. I've got the Slot Car Guy. He's out of Australia. Normally he does stuff that's 124th, 132nd, but he's getting into H.O now, and he's building an H.O track. And so I encourage everybody to go by and check out his channel just to see how he's doing with his build. He's got a huge track that he's building and framing up, and I can't wait to see a good race on it. I'll put it that way. And then obviously, last but not least, I also have the link to Pro Tinker Toys down there, and the email address for Pro Tinker Toys to please email them. Ryan and Tim do the auction featurette, and they've asked everybody that views to email them what they feel is a good starting price for the cars that they're going to auction the next week. So that's a good way to get your input in, get your voice heard, because they do tally them up. And if you caught this last auction, you know that they read off a lot of the stuff that I did, because I was the only one that sent one in. So please, everybody, send in an email, and then they'll take the averages, and then throw it out there. And that way it's fair for everybody. So help support Pro Tinker, help support all the people that are making HO slot car, like Mark's Slot Car Garage. There's a few HO trains, HOs and trains. There's just a lot of good HO Buckeye drag racing. There's a lot of good small channel YouTube HO creators, and we got to support them all, because like I mentioned, and I'll mention it again at the end of the video, if they don't have 1,000 subscribers, they're not getting paid a dime by YouTube, and they're simply doing it for everybody else's enjoyment and the interaction, because they love the hobby. So let's support everybody that supports the hobby and keep it growing, because slot cars are back, and the word is out, and I'm seeing more and more younger kids get into it, which is a good thing. So I'll get off my pulpit now and we'll get back to the fun. It looks like they used my idea for a shopping bag. I like that idea too, of bribing the postal service. No, by the beach, I don't know what the difference between a hurricane and a blizzard is, other than one's really hot and one's really cold. Hey, Sean, thank you for stopping in, buddy. All 13 people that have come in on a Saturday night. Thank you for spending a little time on your weekend with me. 300ZX is what we opened up for myself for a runner, and then I got me a cost cutter, Kellogg's Monte Carlo Terry Labonte from Scale Auto. That's the only thing you've missed so far if you got here late, and you're just in time to see the big box reveal. Now, Scott got another set. You guys know here lately I've been on a set buying spree, because it's the way I'll just break it down for you guys. It's simple math for me. I'd look at it like this: if I can buy 2 cars for $60, or I can buy a whole track set for $70, then I'll spend the extra $10. Here's that example. So what we have here is our Infinity Raceway. This is the Mega G Plus version. If you remember, I showed you that I have this set brand new. I bought it brand new, and I have the 2 cars that came in the set still in the bubble. And then I also have the Mega G versions of these cars, because they did make a Mega G version of this Infinity set. And I showed you the 2 different versions of the Hornet car that they substituted with this car, depending on when you got your set. So yeah, we've shown a lot of history on this one right here. But what I just mentioned to you is exactly what happened with this one. I literally got this track shipped to my door with both cars, which we're going to see if they're destroyed or not, which it sounds like they probably are, but for I think $65 or $70. And if you guys know, looking at used prices, you usually can't touch those 2 cars for anywhere from $30 to $40. So at the low side, that's 60. At the high side, it's 80. So split the middle. Even if I paid $70, you paid $35 each for a car. I got the whole track set complete with the cars. So it's a better value to me. Even if I don't need the track now, I might need it later, or a friend may need it or something like that. But I can't pass up that opportunity to buy those 2 types of cars again to have as runners when it's that kind of price. So that's why I bought it. There's my reasoning behind it. And here's the packing in all of its glory. Looking at the TV, see if you guys can see what I see. This is, by the way, the perfect example of how not to ship a track. Yes, Ryburn, I agree. Thank you. Yeah. 9 months after a hurricane, no babies are born. And by the beach, that's awesome. Well, that's why this country started running out of baby formulas, because there's only like 3 manufacturing facilities in the United States that make that stuff, because it's not a big money maker. So there's not a lot of competition for people to make it and get into it. And actually, babies had been on the decline before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit. Everybody got stuck at home, and next thing you know, population starts increasing, and you need baby formula, and hadn't been being made. So yeah, kind of crazy how that stuff works. So, well, we're off to a good. I mean, even though the track wasn't packed right, I'm looking. That's why I'm doing this right now, just to give a quick overview. But yeah, the corners are all there without any breaks. That's a good start. the old 9 1/4s there. And then these nice ugly. I'm so glad with the newer sets they went to those gray or the silver, what they call, arm guard barriers or whatever, because this orange, come on now. I've never seen a racetrack in my life had orange barriers. Must have got it on sale cheap. So in case you guys didn't know, these Infinity Raceways, if you've never owned one, are the simplest of simple. They come with the corners and two 15-inch straights, and that's it. And then if you went back and you saw my video on the AFX 2022 releases, I showed you how the new Infinity Raceway, they've kind of cheapened it up a little bit. And this is what I was describing to you. They don't have the tri-power pack in the new set anymore. So that to keep the price point where it was at, they had to sacrifice something, and that's what they sacrificed was right here. You still get 2 cars, you still get 2 controllers, you still get all the track, you still get some of the tempo on it with this, you know what I'm saying, the little lightning bolts and arrows and stuff like that. But where they saved the money so they could keep the price point under $90 was this power pack. So even the old cheap Racemaster sets used to come with the tri-power pack. Now you have to step up to what they would call a more like a teen or an adult version before they're included into it. So kind of interesting to see a real life cost cutting thing. But like I said, it was complete. I may not be too thrilled with the packing job, and I just found a shoe. Amazing. What else is floating around here? Yeah, it's your basic set, guys. Literally, it just comes with 2 supports. Literally, it's as bottom dollars you can get. But it came with everything. I know I got one. So, here's what I'm really concerned with, since they weren't even bubble wrapped. Deal killer. Yeah, what packing? Yeah. I was going to say, they wrapped it up and they kissed ass to the Postal Service. It is what it is. I know I sound like a broken record, guys, but every time I buy a track from somebody, I email them and I tell them, I message them, I say, please, please, please make sure that you take care in wrapping up the car so they don't get damaged in package. Well, they were nice enough to put it in a baggie. But just for future reference, a baggie does not offer any protection against this track smashing up against it, especially when there's nothing else holding the track. So you'll see that the cars are missing the wings. No big deal to me because I bought these as runners anyway, and obviously we can see that one of the cars is missing the shoe. So I found one of them. I doubt if I find the other one, but that's okay. I got plenty of parts. Like I said, $70 to my door. And like I said, even if I paid $35 a car and paid $70 for 2 runner cars, now I got a whole track. So I got me a couple of 15 inches and another power. And, like I said, who knows when you may need more track, like someone mentioned in there. Hefty bubble wrap, yeah. Just got the laptop charger hack from HC Slots video and boo, big power cheap. Oh yes, no. If you guys are, whenever I get to wiring mine, I bought my power supply from Viper Scale Racing, but Terry Harden at Harden Creek Slots has a video he calls his power hack, adjustable power supply power hack, and that's what By the Beach is referring to, and it is a definite thumbs up. If I hadn't have bought what I bought when I did, I could have bought 4 of those little power things that he did and have it for each lane. Instead of buying the one that I bought from Viper. So I highly suggest going by and checking that out because you don't have to buy 4 of them. He just did it for one for a 2-lane track. But great idea. I thought it was awesome using a power supply from like or a computer or something like that, a charger or adapter. So I'm not going to go over the cars much. Like I said, already got them. I already know they're going to be runners. not too concerned because that wing always flies off. I've got, it's mainly this stuff up here that gets broke. So now I just got a couple of backups for the runners that I have, and for the money that I paid for it. Like I said, it was a steal in my book, because these Mega G F1 style cars, there's not a lot of variety of them, and that they produced, and they didn't release these except in the set. So it helps break it up if someone else wants to race, versus the limited number that you have. Because remember, I've got a 4-lane track, and so if 6 people showed up and 2 of them didn't have a car, well, there's only so many of those F1 style cars that they have. Like what, six of them, the 2-pack, and then the 4 with the international race set, and then the 2 that come with this. So like I said, to be able to tell different cars, you need to try to mix it up a little bit. I try to accommodate, because I don't, if people come over to race, I don't expect them to invest in money to try to come over to have fun. So that's why I decided, after that one guy came over and destroyed one of my runner cars that I hopped up, that I was going to have house cars that people could come over that had zero experience, and they could crash and burn and tear up, and it would not faze me in the least. In fact, I would sit back and laugh about it, versus sitting back going, oh my God, how much money is that costing? So, it is what it is. So not a bad little haul for look what Scott's got. I'm going to have to obviously repack this a little bit before it gets hauled away, because I don't want the track pieces to get broken. I'm leaving the cars out so I can give them a nice little novice shine. Oh yes, Adam. No, that's the all of this stuff that you see is this sky that I put up, and the checkerboard, and that's all peelable and restickable. So I've got the little rolls that they came off of. I saved them over there. So I'm actually going to peel those off and stick them back up. And hey, by the beach, you stay safe, buddy. Like I said, be in touch if there's anything I can help you out with. And you take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, all that stuff is getting tore down, and then the track is going back up. And then the good part is when I tear down this big table to show you how I disassemble, I built my table to be disassembled. I didn't use nails to hold in the legs. I used carriage bolts, and a counter system that basically works against itself. You'll see. I was going to show you the assembly of it when I was going to put, where I'm sitting right now is the L part of the table. I've got a 4x8 that's sitting right in front of me right now. And I was going to show this, and then that's literally when all that crap started happening, because I had to get all the cars up before I could get the table assembled, because once it's together, there's not enough room to really move it away from the wall enough to get me to where I needed to be able to hang the cars on the wall. So yeah, long story short, the track's going up, cars are going up. Like I said, I'm buying this house, so no more landlord. In fact, meeting with the banker this next week, and putting in the old home loan, got all the financial stuff taken care of, and the anal probe that is trying to buy a home. I know I'm buying it at the worst time possible, but it is what it is. So just a quick recap. We got the race set, came with the car, $70. Got me another 300ZX for my case, the black version. And then I got me a future seller, cost cutter, Kellogg's Monte Carlo. So not a bad haul, not a bad haul. All right, I'm catching up here real quick. Adjustable power packs, 1 for each lane with voltmeters welded in. Nice, Ryburn. How do you like those? Ryburn, how do you like those Auto World adjustables, or how do they come? Or do you have them? Have you compared them to these tri-power packs? That's what I'm curious about. Oh, the joy of home ownership. Yeah, see, it's a catch-22, because I've been always one of those people that said I'll rent till I die, because that way I don't have to worry about paying the homeowner's insurance and all the taxes on the house. And if like the hot water heater goes out, well, I don't have to pay for it. Just call the landlord. Well, and then there's the flip side of it, where you're dealing with a management company, and then when that management company gets sold, and then assholes buy the new management company and throw you in the position you're in now, then you realize that owning your home The only way you can screw that up is if you don't pay the bank. So, yeah, I'd much rather be that. Hey, Dan, sorry, missed you. Oh yeah, no, I saw your notice popped up, and I was hoping you would join in and see that I was live. So no, I'll definitely check it out. And I did make those comments like I told you I would, and I will get you return to your question on your email either later tonight or tomorrow after I get done with the moving that I'm doing tomorrow. I'll put it that way. Not moving all day tomorrow like I did today. So yeah, thank you for stopping. I'll definitely check it out tonight when because I haven't even had dinner yet. Like I told them, if since you got here late, I literally got done moving my stuff, posted that I was going to go live, had dinner, took a shower, or didn't have dinner. I just went in and took a shower, got the dogs taken care of, and then boom, I'm here. So we opened up the three little packages. I do know I got some more stuff coming Monday, so I'm going to take Sunday off of a day of rest because I've got more stuff to pack away, but not necessarily in this room and take care of. And then I want to I've got to get my stuff together for the loan for going to meet the loan officer this week to apply for the loan for the home. And so anyway, but I will be back on Monday night with another live feed with a Look What Scott's Got, and we're going to pack another wall. I don't know if I feel like it's a Sunday night, we may be do an hour or two, but I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to turn the camera around, and that I'm going to be out of the picture, obviously, but I'm going to point it at the first section that's right here in front of me, and I'm going to call that section one, and then I'm going to move it once you guys have looked at it. Hey, man, no problem. Thank you for stopping by and checking it out, man. I got 15 people on a Saturday night. Thank you all. I mean, honestly, thank you. And I've got a lot of cool, kick-ass cars. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, I can't wait for you guys to see some of these cars because I didn't even know some of them existed until I saw them in the book or saw them for sale. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera, show the sections of the cars and what I'll call one or two or three or four, whatever that. And then once I'm done rotating the camera and giving you guys a little mini earthquake, then I'll position the camera back again where I can see and sit down. And then you guys are going to tell me which one you want to see. And then, like I said, I'll start making the preparations for it while I set the camera up. And I've got a box, I've got my pack material, I've got my Novus, I got my towel. I've got my little container that I put my stick pins in because that's how I've attached all of those. So, had a 19-volt laptop. I really like being able to record the cars being run. Yes. Okay, Robert. Cool. Let's see. I was worried that. Okay, so before I get started on doing that, since Robert and I were talking about the power packs, this is going to be good information for everybody. The reason why I was asking about that new Auto World one is because of the AFX Race Masters Tri Power. I know from personal experience that it was hard for me to get any two of these that were exactly the same output. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 12 of these on my track to hook up so that every lane had its own power pack so that if someone came off, they didn't give power to the other car. And anyway, so I had to literally take my voltmeter out and test the voltage output on them to see which two that I could put together or which four that I could put together on a section of track so that they would be similar enough so that no one lane had more voltage than another in that area. And so that actually a pain in the butt. So I know for a fact those things don't put out the same voltage on every single one of them because I had 12 of them and no 12 of them were exactly the same. And so that's why I was curious to see how Auto Worlds worked out. So that's why I went with the got rid of all the wall warts and that's why I decided to go with the Viper power supply and direct wire into my track. So that's my reasoning behind that. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, Ryburn. Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw the advertisement that Brian did for that car show. I thought it was funny. I saw him looking down at his notes to get the name of the place right. All right, so I'll just let you guys know the very first section that I'm going to show you is probably the one that I would hope that nobody picks first, because it will take me the longest to move this table out of the way, this table out of the way, to get to. But it's your guys' choice. Like I said, I'm at the whim of my viewers, because I do appreciate you guys stopping by. So I'm going to position the camera now. So I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get it as stable as I can. Okay, so that's the section that I'm going to call section 1. So whenever I'm sitting where I'm sitting, when I say I'm looking straight at this car or that car, that's what I'm talking about, is because that's where my computer's sitting, just right below where you're looking at. So that's section 1. That's got a lot of your cars and trucks, 2-packs, specialty packs, and then you can see Vipers up there in the corner, 2 different versions of the Viper, the U-turn, and one for the TV show, and some other Tyco cars. But that's all Tyco right there in that corner. And then you can see in the other part of that corner off to the left, that's also got Auto World cars and trailers in them, and more Tyco cars on it. So if I was to do that section there, I would also do that other side corner that's on the other side of the TV. Oh, well, there's a good 3 or 4 walls. I mean, because the way this room's broken up are sections that you guys will be able to pick. I'm good with that. Thank you for the thought, though, Adam. So I'm going to call that section 1, that corner 1. So I would prefer that one be the last one, but like I said, and then obviously they go above the window, and then they go over to the closet. So I'm going to say from the window over in that corner is section 2. That from the closet door to the Shelby flag hanging in the window. And as you can see there, that's more Tyco. And then on the bottom row, you can see the 2-packs of the AFX cars. And then while I'm in that corner, I'll go ahead and do over to the door. And so that would be those 2 rows going down of the Mega Gs, the Collector Series, and the AFX cars. So that would basically, we would start hitting the AFX wall right there. So we'll call that one section 2. And then we're going to call, oops, sorry. Like I said, you can see where the cases used to go. So from the top of the door, taking out those other 2 rows all the way over, we'll call this section 3, going over to the corner. And that one would take a while. But like I said, it's all good. So yeah, from right there over. And we'll call that, like I said, we'll call that wall 3. So the first one was the corner with all the Tyco. The second corner was the one that's adjacent right there. And then now we're on section 3, would be from the door to that corner. And that's what I'm going to call section 3. So kind of keep in mind, I'll kind of review it as we go in case you forget. Because we got 16 people, and I want to try to do what the majority wants. All right, so I'm going to call the section over to where your easiest way. 3, yeah. I was going to say, well, I don't know, slot value. You have it, the AFX there from the corner over this way. I will do the whole double row all the way over to the corner above the door, and we'll call that one section 4, because that those shelves that we see behind me here, that's going to be its own section by itself. So we'll call that section 5. Yeah. I knew you'd like section 4. Section 4, just so anybody, if you can't tell already, that is basically the history of the GT40s from the SRT versions through the Mega G Plus versions. And the only one that I don't have that's up there that's on order and should be here next week that I can show you is the new paintable white Mark IV that they have, that will go right underneath the other GT40 that now has a paintable, I believe, Fusion underneath it, that is going to be one of the ones that we're going to be painting and hopping up and then sending to Pro Tinker. Yep, go with 4. Well, I kind of knew as this one, that was going to be the winner. I knew I'd get people excited when I showed you three, but I really knew when I showed those GT40s and told you what was there. So I know that I can show here. I'm going to move just to show you guys the other sections. Sorry, I had to dodge the dog. All right, I know it's probably going to click. Sorry. All right, so now I'm looking at the TV to see what you guys are seeing. So I apologize. I'm not in front of my computer. So that top row is whole top four of number 4 is what I'm calling number 4. And then we're going to call the shelves number 5. And that's the Cars and Crews, Pro Tinker Toys exclusive. The bottom row is Car Feedies. Like I mentioned, I got all of those. And then we'll just call section 5 what's remaining. And that's the Tycos above the door, on the other side of the door, and the ones that go right above the TV, all the way across to the back corner that we just saw. So we'll call that section 6. So what do you guys have a preference of? Okay, so I'm seeing 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Go with 4, 4, 4, 3. Okay, I'm going to start counting each one of them because I see a lot of. I want to be fair. Like I said, I'm letting you guys vote. So sorry if I can't hear it clicking, but that doesn't mean it didn't. So I'm going to try to shy away. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 threes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fours. Well, honestly, any of the 3 or the 4, anything that's not in that corner that I showed first is the easiest. So section 1 would be the hardest for me, and section 5 because of the TV being in the way. So any of the 2, 3, 4, or 5 would work because the 5 is the Pro Tinker toy, I guess. Roll the dice. Well, I tell you what, since everybody's saying let's go with let me have the easiest, since I don't have to try to dig over into that corner and work across that door, how about I just start with section 4 tonight? And I'll start in the corner. And like I said, it'll be the top 2 rows going all the way through to the corner. And it's going to be a little, like I said, history of all the Race Masters AFX GT40s, because I do have all of them but one that's our old, and I've got the newest one that they released. It's paintable on its way. So I'll even point out the one that I don't have, and if someone out there does have it or knows someone that does have it that would be willing to part with it or is willing to wheel and deal, I'm all ears because I would really like to have all of those. Is that good with everybody? You guys good with the GT40s? And then obviously it goes into some turbos and stuff like that in the corner. All right, up to 17 people. Turn on my fan here. Okay, cool. Let's go with the GT40s then. Mike, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for everybody that voted in on that. Adam, Cliff, Sean, Dan, Slot Valley, everybody. Yeah, thank you all. Like I said, and all 18 of you that are here. Just so you know, we went over the Scott's. Look what Scott's got tonight, and tonight we're going to be packing the brand new in the package Mega G Plus, Super Racing Turbos, Super G Pluses, versions of the Ford GT40s and some other cars that are mixed in there to fill in blanks for new ones that I know that are coming out, just to keep it all going. But I'm going to slide my chair out of the way, and I'm going to try to position the camera a little bit to where you can see where I'm starting, and I'll start pulling them down, wiping them, and then I'm going to get the box and set it here on the table, and I'll be able to tell you guys a little bit of something about them before I pack it away and wrap it up. There we go. Cool. Sorry for the delay. Had to get a box ready. Like I said, this room's not that big, and with the slot car table, and then the dogs and everything else, sometimes it can get what's the word I'm looking for? Challenging to walk around. Get me my OSHA approved milk crate. I'll pull them down two at a time. And like I said, I'm having to look at the TV. So here we have the Mega G stalkers that they came out with. You could also get these in a twin pack, and I've been trying like hell to get that twin pack, but regrettably have not been able to acquire it at the right cost. There's wrong car. This one actually started out as a SRT, and then you could switch. Started out as a turbo, then went to an SRT, and then a Mega G with this Highs construction body style. And you can there's actually a difference, and whenever I'm unpacking, I'll have all three of them where I can show you the different shade of blue that's on this car depending on the chassis that was underneath it for the year that it, the era that it was produced, because there is a slight change, and it's the color of the blue. Nothing's changed on this one as far as I know. The hardcore, or I'm sorry, that's got the G on it. This is for gasoline. So anyway, like I said, these two come in a twin pack. This one had been made since the Turbo, Super Racing Turbo, and then the Mega G was the last rendition that they had done of it. Sorry, I'm gonna go this way. Forgot to get my Novus. Any of you guys have those as runners? I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many of you out there have got those Mega G chassis, but I like those Mega G chassis. I wish they had stuck with those for a lot longer. Put some money in them into keeping them around. They call me the mayor, streaming. Sorry about that. They call me the mayor. You know what? My phone still hasn't gone off to notify me, and I'd actually already been live before it notified me on the computer that I was live. So no, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I noticed last week it didn't notify me of Pro Tinker Toys live feed when they were doing their autumn special last Friday. I apologize. This is going to be the boring part. This is where I'm going to try to read and talk to everybody at the same time, because I do wipe them down with my Novus before I wrap them. This is a good time to clean. And that way, just so you guys know, this is how I wrap them. I get some 2-ply toilet paper and I wrap them. That way the plastic doesn't get scratched. And I don't want to, since obviously they're hanging on the walls and they only get wiped down once a month, this is perfect timing because it's October 1st, which meant that this would have been wiped down week anyway. So believe it or not, guys, I go around this room and with a Novus and a towel, and I don't take them down, but I wipe every single one of those cars down, and I take the cars out of the cases and wipe them down too, just to keep the dust off of them. I don't want anything getting impregnated into the plastic. So it's just you and me. Hey, man, misery loves company, so thank you. Thank you for joining me. That's funny. Yeah. And guys, just I don't know if a lot of you guys are collectors that have these that are brand new on the that you hang them up on the wall or whatever. But if you do use this Novus, just as a plug, I'm going to have to contact them and see if I can't start getting a per diem for selling it. But anyway, it makes them easier to clean the next time. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't necessarily have to use a towel with Novus on it again. You can just use a good microfiber towel and they'll lightly dust off. So, I said, I apologize. This is going to go slower than the other wrapping did, but I'll try to make it as quick as possible. You see what I do? It's high tech, and it doesn't. I guess during the pandemic, this would have been a waste of toilet paper. And so this is how I double it up, is I only wrap one and then I put it in there so that the next one that's not wrapped is against this one and so on and so forth. That way I'm only wrapping every other one. So I do try to conserve some of the toilet paper. All right, let's get down the next two. I know these are the boring cars to most people, but you know we got to start somewhere. We can't be an action movie and show all the action at the beginning, or no one would stay till the end. So um, anyway, these are two of your paintable stalkers. This one is the Monte Carlo version, and this is the Ford Fusion version. And these are the two that are going to stay going on the wall. These two won't get used, but we will see some of the ones that I've used these as fillers for that are going to be giveaway cars for projects that we're going to do. Like I mentioned, I'll just throw this out here again. I'm going to build one of these. We're going to decal it. We're going to hop it up. Then we're going to send it off to PTT for their unlimited Mega G, you know, their last race of the night, their fastest cars that they have. Let them race it a few nights, and then we'll have a contest giveaway to give it away to one of my viewers as my way of saying thank you for supporting the channel. So you'll get to watch the car that you're winning being built, you'll get to see it being raced, and then you'll get to win it. So pretty cool. Okay, just a second. I'm sorry if it's clicking. I got to read what They Call Me the Mayor says. I have a transparent blue GT40. Okay, so They Call Me the Mayor. They didn't make any transparent bluish GT40s that I personally know of. I do see one that's they call it's an Amon or something like that. I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. My hooked on phonics hadn't got me that far, but that's that number two, and it's kind of a misty kind of seafoam blue. But they don't have any of them that are translucent that are made by Aurora AFX. I would guess that would be a Auto World translucent is what it sounds like to me, because I did see they made some of those that were a light blue, almost like a frost. But I don't, like I said, I'm not sure. But I mean, if whenever I'm holding these up here, if you think you see your same car, whatever, we'll dive into it, because I'd like to know too. But to the best of my knowledge, no, that would not be an authentic Race Masters AFX GT40 car. And like I said, if someone else knows more than me and I'm wrong, please tell me. Even if you're not live later, leave it in the comments, and in my next video, I'll throw out the correction and give you the credit. Because, like I mentioned, guys, I'm no guru. I just know what I know from my 6 years being back in the hobby, and I dove into it with COVID coming around, and so I've just, like I said, you know, when I haven't been, when you're not drag racing and you're filling your time with other stuff, well, this is what I filled it with. And so I dove in deep, and that's when the collection really started taking shape. It went more from racing and just having fun to trying to collect buildings and stuff like that. So I got the fever, or I got hooked, however you want to call it. Either way, I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad everybody's here. So I apologize if I asked before if anybody had those first two Mega Gs or any versions of that high construction car that I showed, the NASCAR cars. But I wanted to know before I go any farther, if you're live, or even if you're not, if you watch this later, please comment below. What do you do to prep the body? I know that there's a cleaner that you can buy, but what cleaner do you guys recommend to clean and scuff the body before you start to apply paint on some of those paintable bodies? And I'll pull down the next two cars while hopefully somebody that's live here can enlighten us all. Because I've seen a couple of things, but I want to know what the general consensus on what the best one is. Yes, Don, I did race at KCIR in Kansas City, and I was really sad to see that go away. I ran up there at their Fun Ford weekends when they used to have those up there. I used to drive up from Springfield. The road to get to there sucked ass, but it was like they never paved it. To me, rough as hell, some of those roads. But so the bodies in white that we just saw there, those paintables, that's what these were for. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo there. This is the Colonial Auto Parts Chevrolet. Like I said, oops, sorry. I'm having to look at the TV and see what you guys are saying. So, and then it came with their hardcore Ford Fusion. And like I said, they don't call these NASCARs; they call them stalkers, so they don't have to pay the NASCAR licensing fees. And we all know by looking at these what these are. These are NASCAR cars, but irregardless, so pretty cool. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, this one was never in a. I thought this one was in a 2-pack, and it's not. There's another version over there. Dawn dish detergent, original blue color. Okay, Ryburn, cool, thank you. No Paul Lamb, Chevrolet. That doesn't sound familiar, Don. I'm sorry. I was young when I went to KCIR, and that place has been shut down for years. So you, Ryburn, you just wash them with Dawn, get them really clean, and then do you scuff them with anything like a Scotch-Brite pad or anything like that, like you would a normal car? Because I've got I've bought several decal kits from some vendors on eBay specifically to do those cars, like I said, to give away, because I'm going to paint them, decal them. I got windows, stickers for the windows, so I don't have to worry about trying to block those out. I can just paint the whole body and go to town. And all the Chevys were sold out. I was going to buy 4. I was going to get 2 Fords and 2 Chevys and do 4 cars. But like I mentioned, all the Chevys were sold out. They're going to make more, they said. We'll see. Yeah, see, Aaron, it's a Ford GT and not a GT40. That's the only one that I know of too. Although, if you missed it the other night, I'll just give a little quick a Scott timeout just to share some knowledge again in case you missed it or haven't seen the previous videos. AFX Race Masters is coming out with two brand new sets. First one's supposed to be coming out later this month. Now that it's October. Um, it's got the Ford GT that's a frost blue, that's a different blue than the Bob Beers version, and it's got the new vet in it, and they're calling it the Super Coupes set, I believe. And then they've also got a second set that's coming out, and it's got the ZL1 Camaro and the Ford Shelby GT500 in it, and it's called like the Horsepower Challenge or something like that. But and then they've got the two new vets coming out. They got the two new Heritage Edition Ford GTs coming out, and I mean, so 8 new cars coming out just this month with just those two race sets and the Ford GTs and the new Corvettes, and that doesn't include the paintable Mark IV GT40 that you can buy right now. Which we're finally getting to them. All right, so like I mentioned, this is just another Ford Fusion stalker. It was just keeping the spot warm for the new one that's on the way for the Mark IV. So there's the Ford GT 40 Mega G paintable, and then I've got the new Mark IV coming. So this one is going to be one of the giveaway cars, so I won't bother showing it again. But so this is what I've got coming in the mail for the Mark IV, the newest body style of the GT40 that they came out with. And what I loved about the old one, I don't know if you guys are into numbers or not, but it's either this is number 16 or 813. And my guess is that 00016 means that this is car number 16 of the run. And they used to show you what other cars came in the series on the back, and these are all Mega Gs. Yeah, that's Santa, yes. Okay, yeah, see, Robert, and that was my thing is I didn't know about body oil. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want the paint to fisheye, so you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, cool, thank you. Yeah, I thought about the scuff, and I was like, man, that plastic's so fine and everything's so small. You're going to see those grains because it ain't like a normal car. You know what I'm saying? Because that paint's thicker. Anyway, so yeah, I believe that I have car number 16 here, which is pretty damn cool. I'll just put it that way. Of the paintable GT40 Mega G. Makes no difference. They didn't do any changes. But it's still pretty cool to see 00016. They don't even number. That's what was cool is they don't even put a number on these. They're like, don't care. So yeah, even the one I'm going to open up and work on gets novused. Everything gets cleaned. If you ever bought a car from me, you know that they're all nice and shiny and clean and looking good and ready for the shelf. All right, sorry. I haven't heard it clicking, so I apologize if it is and I'm missing it. I'm trying to stay away from the camera because I hear that clicking when I review. So now we're going to get to finally the actual colored GT40s. We saw the paintable, which obviously I started with it first because it was the Mega G. And then I'll have the Mega G Plus Mark IV that'll go right underneath it. And obviously, I put them together as far as the numbers were grouped. and I started with the oldest model first, and then went to went newer. So old, new, newest, new, old, new, same. So all the way down. So the first one's the oldest one, and then the second one's the second oldest one. And believe it or not, the blues are the same. So here you have the old version, which is the SRT chassis, and that stands for Super Racing Turbo. You can see it down here in the corner. Sorry, like I said, it's opposite on mine. And then here is the Mega G version. There you go. I'm trying to get the glare away. You can say they're identical except for the chassis. And once again, what was cool is on the back side, they showed you the different models of the cars that they were selling of that chassis. So you knew what you could, try to go and find other cars to go with it. So you'll see those black, the blue, the copper, and the red again on the Mega Gs and the SRTs. And this one is number 1,855. This is the SRT one. And my Mega G is number 88. So first one of the 100 from that batch. Pretty cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let me know that. They call me the mayor. Do you have a favorite on that wall? Not on this wall. I'm proud of all my GT40s, to be quite honest, because I set that out as a goal when I decided I was going to start collecting it. And I'll be honest, that was Greg at H.O Slot Cars, like I've mentioned, if you've seen my videos in the past, that passed. He was the one that is responsible. Between him and Scale Auto is another reason why I plugged them. They are the two shops that I bought 90% of all of these GT40s from, and those Mega Gs that are over here in section 3. And it was them that basically were the ones that are telling me you need to try to buy these cars. And so I'm really thankful that they did, because I was just getting back into it. And I asked them straight up, I said, I really like these GT40s. Or that's something that if you were going to collect, that you would collect. And they both resoundingly said yes, those and the Shelby Cobras that they have. And then any of the Mega G F1 cars. I mean, like I said, they tried helping me out, and they did. I got like I said, a lot of those cars came directly from them. And then some of the more obscure cars that I didn't have in my collection that they didn't have, that I had to find, some of the SRT versions, stuff like that. I have what we call, a lot of people call a unicorn GT40, because from that Australian toy distributor that got the rights to make some Super G Plus versions of the GT40s, and those are kind of hard to come by. Brian had some at Pro Tinker, and I was fortunate. I had them both in my basket in my cart. I was buying them, and when I went to check out, someone hit the buy it now button quicker than I did, and they bought one of the two, and I only got one of them. But I got one of them, and there's 6 of them, and I've seen those 6 GT40 Super G Pluses go for around anywhere from 1,400 to 1,700. I've seen 2 different sets of 6 that sold for that, which is insane. But if you got it and you want it, you know, it's all good. And then we have the last baby blue #1, and it's the Mega G Plus version. And ironically, this has no number on it whatsoever. They got the spot for it, but there's no number. See, it's blank. And then obviously we have the new Mark IV #1, and this one's number 1254. Nothing special about it, but we've all seen this car. Still a good looking car, but this is the body style that the new body in white that I'm getting is going to have. So shouldn't take too much to wipe these down. Like I said, it hadn't been that long since I just did it. Yeah, that new one he got, that limited edition Viper, that one with the Lexan body and those gold rims, that is a sweet looking car. Yeah, I saw that video and I was jealous from the word go. That was a sweet car. It is a sweet car, not was, it is. Sorry if this is boring, but like I said, this is how I take them down. All right, so we got the latest and the greatest that just came out, and old SRT. So we'll go with the same number. So this is the last #1, and this is the red #1 that just came out, the Mark IV chassis. Great looking car. If you don't have one, I strongly suggest getting one. I'm going to get another one to be a runner, and I'm going to get another one to store away to sell somewhere down the road, because these are bringing good money already. These are bringing more money now than they should for being a brand new car. And here we have the first black #2, and it is an SRT version. Sorry, had to let the dog out. And this one's number 899, and once again it would be the top one on the back. We saw the blue one, and we'll see the other two here shortly, but I'd have all of the SRTs. So some of my older GT40s are actually some of the really old, I mean, less than 1,000 on my Mega Gs. And this one right here at number 899. So for them to be, the reason why I say that, for them to be in that good a shape, you know, because that meant that it was on one of the first containers over. Aaron, the one I'm missing is the number 8, yellow. I see it on eBay right now. Someone's wanting $300 for it, plus shipping. So it's really more than $300. I'm not paying $300 for a car. That's ludicrous. That's once again, that's beyond Scott's blue collar wages. That's the one I'm missing. Yeah, dang's a word. It's not exactly the one that comes to my mind, but yeah, that's the PC version. Sorry, had to move stuff out of the way so I get my milk crate. And here we're going to get a treat, because we got 2 Mega Gs #2s. And in fact, Aaron, that's the one. I have every car on the back of this car right here except for that one right there. Yep. And this is the GT40 that I was mentioning earlier that I didn't know if you thought was maybe the blue that you saw in your package. But this is like an Amon or Anmon or something like that. I was actually smart enough to buy 2 of these. And this one's number 1386, and this one's number 919. And this is the Mega G version of that number 2. So these are both Mega G versions, the black and then that kind of misty blue right there. I love the color of this one. So, yeah, so anybody now watching or watching this later, if you know somebody that has this car brand new in the package, please have them contact me if they're wanting to sell it, trade it, or negotiate a reasonable price, because that would really be awesome. I'd really like to have that car. The yellow number 8, Mega G, I believe is what that was. Yep, Mega G. And I'm not for sure. I'll have to do the research. I don't know if they came out with an SRT version of that one or not, but I know for sure they came out with the Mega G version, obviously. And that's the one I've been hunting for. But this is the one that a lot of people hadn't seen, so that's why I was kind of happy to show it to people, because everyone's seen that black one and then that dark blue one that they just came out with, but a lot of people hadn't seen that kind of a misty blue. It's a pretty car. Like I said, I'm smart enough to buy 2 of those, so I got one on the wall and one for the cruise around the world. Yeah, okay, 349. Is that what you found, Adam? Yeah, isn't that insane? So someone told me the other night whenever I was going through my Mega G, my F1 Indy cars, and I'm the only one I'm missing on that one is the Red Bull, and I explained how midway through the Mega G production, they lost the licensing to do the Red Bull car, so then they made that imitation full tilt that looks almost just like it, except with just a little, little subtle differences. That Red Bull car is 500, and I saw someone else list another one on there for $700 for that one car. It's been sitting there a while. No one's bought it. I watch it just to see if someone's going to pony up the cash. But it's been sitting there a while. Somebody's proud of it. $500 and $700 for a car. Way out of my league. So the last number 2 is the newest number 2 that they came out with, and it's that dark mist blue. And most people mistake it as black because it's so dark. And I actually bought one of these, and it's sitting over there in the corner that I bought as a runner. And before I pack it away, I'll try to get the camera like I used to do with the Buy It Before Evil days, and I'll set that car up there, and I've got a few little details to show you on what they did on the body to add for realism on it. So there's the Mega G Plus version of that. We've all, if you're into slot cars, you've seen that one come out earlier this year. And here's the first number 3 that I have. It's the SRT. I'm sorry, there it goes. And this one's number 1207 of the SRTs, number 3s. Just making sure. Oops, sorry. You guys can see the backside there. That's what I loved about these old packagings. They actually showed you old, cars that were in the series that you could try to look for and buy. Give you a little history about them too. Like this one, Dan Gurney and Jerry Grant. The black one, Bruce McLaren and Chris Amon, Ken Miles and Dennis Holm, Ronnie Buckman and Dick Hutchison. Just like I said, I don't know if it cost them more to do that stuff or they just thought that people didn't like it or what, but I personally thought it added to the car. And, I don't know. I like it. See, here's a new package. So here's what I'm talking about, what I liked. And this is the way they do it now. See, this is way more entertaining to me hey, this would help me buy more cars if I was just getting into it than this would. I'm just saying. On eBay for $299 SRT chassis. Okay, so yeah, I knew there was SRT and a Mega G. So yeah, there we go. I thought there was an SRT, but I knew for sure there was a Mega G. So he wants $300 for his SRT version. Is it still in the plastic, Aaron? Is it still in the plastic coffin, as somebody called it? Oh, cool. Well, no. Hey, thank you for the tip. I've got to get with Dan with Slot Valley and tell him about some cars, and I got to get on eBay and check on my stuff that I've got listed. I've got my eBay page down there listed below. If any of you are interested, like I said, I even put that there. Don't buy it off of eBay. Contact me directly and save some money because I can usually discount better than what I can if you try to do it on eBay because I have to pay those fees, and I have to make sure that I make at least $2 to $5, and they make more in fees than I make in profit. I'll put it that way, and I'd much rather not give them anything personally. Thank you guys for checking that out for me too. So now I've actually got two cars, both of them the yellow number 8. I need the SRT yellow number 8, and I need the Mega G version. So I can't even say in that without my wallet screaming. All right, so here we have the Mega G version of the number 3, and here we have the Mega G Plus version of the number 3. And this one is number 570. And this one, they didn't, once again, on the Mega G Plus, you can see they didn't give it a number. And then there's one of the 2 I need now. I thought it was just 1, maybe 2. Now I know it's 2. Yeah. Oops, number 1220, new in package. Wow. I don't care what number's on the back, guys. Honestly, it makes zero difference just having the car because the prices are just insane right now. I mean, obviously a collector buys stuff to hope it's going to go up in value later, but I mean, how is it ever going to exceed the value of what you pay for it if it's already at that price? So you're going to have to find someone with a really deep wallet before that would even be you're just going to want to collect it for yourself. It's not going to be something that you're going to want to invest in because you ain't going to get your money back on it hardly unless I've seen whole collections of like the SRTs and the Mega Gs. I've seen all of them sell for, like I said, $1,000 to $2,000 before. So, but even then, your market for somebody buying those cars at that price is pretty narrow, I would think. Sorry, I got these. Like I said, they're pretty slick, so it doesn't take a lot for me to get them off because they've all been Novus cleaned good once. And then a lot of this toilet paper was used the last time because I saved all the stuff back. Like I said, I had this whole thing packed once before. You saw one of the openings of my older videos of the walls being bare and the cases on the wall with all the cars with the bubble wrap. I mean, I literally, yeah, I had all this packed up. So I've already been down the road, so I've already kind of blazed the trail. I know what I got to do. Doesn't make it any easier. Doesn't make me want to do it, but it is what it is. All righty. And we have the newest number 3 right here. This one's number 1057, if anybody cared. So it's just barely over 1,000. And then we have the only number 4 that they've made so far, and this is the copper number 4. And this one is one of my less than 1,000. It's number 789. And I was smart enough to buy 2 of these. So I've got a couple of these bad boys, as you can see. It's over there. See, like I said, it's opposite. Sorry. So yeah. Just a little tidbit. If you guys, I'm going to wait till we actually get to the car that I saw it on, and then I'm going to tell you a nice little piece of history on why those colors are on the front of the GT40s. Some of you may or may already know, but some of you may not, and you may wonder why they put some of those colors that they did up there. And I happened to watch the video and got the story straight from the guy that owned the race team and the reason why they did it. So I'm building anticipation for a couple of the cars coming up. One of those Scott stories, you know what I'm saying? You can't watch a Scott video without having a Scott story. All righty. And here we have the SRT. This one was the Ronnie Buckman and Dick Hutcherson. He was a last-minute replacement when A.J. Foyt got injured. He'd never ran a race, and in the rain and was told just keep it on the road. He did and finished 3rd. Not a bad way to debut yourself. This SRT is number 745. Good looking car. And then this number 6 is also an SRT. And this one was the one that was driven by Mario Andretti and Lucien Bianchi in 1966. This was Andretti's first Le Mans and driving for the powerful Holloman Moody team. He only made it 97 laps before a blown head gasket put him out. He won the race the very next year, though. So that's what I loved about these old packages, guys. They told you some history, showed you the cars. I mean, they need to do this again, in my opinion. Oh, is he? That's funny. I've seen him pack many a box. I've sat there and watched him pack one of my orders before. Brian will get on to him if he starts wiping down all the cars with the Novus rag like I'm doing, though. So. an office chair out of the way. There we go. All righty. And this is the number 6 Mega G of the SRT version that we just saw. So it's the Mario Andretti one from 66 again, but it's just the Mega G version that you see there. And this one is probably towards the end of a run because it's number 2714. And then we have another number 7. And this is a silver and black. It's a good looking car. I like it. Trying to see if there's a date back here. Made in China. Don't see a date. But good looking car. Mega G. We're getting down to the new ones again now. And then now we're going to get down to the Scott story. And I'll skip over a couple of cars so I can get to the other GT40 and show you one of the unicorn ones. Besides that number 8 that I'm trying to find 2 of now. Man, I'm telling you, if you're a slot car collector and you're on a limited budget like I am, right now it's heaven and hell. And the reason why I say that, it's heaven because there's so many cool cars and tracks out right now. It's like a buyer's paradise. And there's the hell is if you don't have enough money to buy all the cars that you want to buy because there's so many kick-ass cars out there right now. So, like I said, the yin and the yang of life. Alrighty. And I know there's some more GT40s coming down the road, so that's why I put another Ford Fusion. Like I said, I got 4 of these extra to paint up and hop up and give away as part of thank you to my viewers. So there's another one. Like I said, it was a filler. And now we've reached the story part. So as you can see here, this is your standard GT40 number 95. Not much different than the number 98 that I can show you, that I'm going to show you next. But what I am going to explain to you about is that orange nose. And I'm going to look in the, make sure you guys are seeing what I'm talking about. Okay, so every single one of these GT40s that you're seeing tonight that has a different colored nose paint on the front, the reason why they did that is because in Le Mans at night, they couldn't tell which GT40 was coming down the pit lane to tell them to come into their pit to get their car serviced. And at night, this would actually be a reflective color so that when they were coming down the pit lane, depending on what it reflected, you knew what car it was because it was pitch black, except for a few spots. It's not like modern day. You got to remember, this was back in the 60s. So that's why all the Ford teams came up with that idea so that the pit crews would know when the car was coming down the pit lane because of the reflection of the color that was coming off that reflective paint that they painted on the nose of the cars. So that's why you saw the pink, the red, the green, all that. So now you know that was done for racing at night at Le Mans, so the pit teams would know which GT40 was coming down the pit lane, so they knew to be ready if it was their car. Pretty cool, huh? I thought it was cool. That's why I shared it. You got kicked out of YouTube. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, if you like that one, Ryburn, you're gonna like the next one because it's got a nose on it too. It's the number 98, and I didn't really think much of that car because I thought it was plain Jane. But now that I know the story behind them, makes them a little cooler. And Sean, why did they kick you out of YouTube? Did you infringe on somebody's copyright? They copyrighted blocked me on a couple of my videos because I used in my Batman video because I used a bunch of the old 60s Batman songs and stuff like that. They copyrighted and blocked me on that one. I used an instrumental version of Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty, and they copyright blocked me on that one. And what that means is if I was getting paid from YouTube, that just meant that that video wasn't eligible to be paid. Any royalties that I would have been paid go directly to the artist of the music that I used without permission, which I don't get paid for YouTube videos. So I was like, meh, they're not getting nothing. So big deal. Yeah. We know that one's going to get opened up and ran. Like I said, that's a giveaway car. And here's a little tip for you guys. If you guys race these Mega G Plus cars and the CAN motor dies on you, and rather than buying a whole new expensive $30 or $40 car, buy one of those paintable Fusions for 25 bucks, 26 bucks, and get the chassis and just throw it underneath your favorite body. Or do like I do and try to buy some of those twin packs from Scale Auto when he runs those on special. You can get two cars for like 60 bucks, less than 60 bucks. And if you don't, even if you don't like the body, you get the chassis. That's what you're after anyway. So they make some of those replacement CAN motors. But like I said, I am going to get some of those. We're going to be able to tie them and try them out. So here was the number 98 that I showed is like the Heritage Edition with the Ford GT. And this is on a Mega G Plus chassis too. Yeah, Mega G Plus, yeah. And then so there's the number 95 and the number 98 together. So you can see they look very similar. And now you know why, if they were coming down the pit lane, it'd be hard to tell them apart without something. Oops, I go the wrong way. Oh yeah, here. Sorry, I'm trying to show the noses for you. So you got the green and then you got the red. See, so now you know when they were coming down the pit lane, which car it was. Because obviously they're both white, and at night with a black hood, it'd been hard as hell to tell those cars apart. So now you know a little story behind why they did that, and they did it again. And once again, what I thought was curious about these Mega G Plus GT40s, you can see where the date, the production number is supposed to be, but once again, it's blank. And the one that brand new, just to show you, has it right up in there. So see numbers and a run. I'm looking at the TV and trying to get rid of the glare. That's why I'm a little behind. There we go. So you can see what I'm talking about. And then once again, the packaging that is horrible and the packaging that they ought to do again, in my opinion. So now we know a little bit about the Ford GT40s and the reason why they had those painted noses, and that was actually a reflective tape. And that came straight from one of the car owners. I can't remember the name of the guy or the car. It was late at night, one of those deals where I was scrolling through YouTube while I was in bed getting ready to go to sleep and happened to come across it, watched it, and then fell asleep. But it was a cool video to hear him talk about that. You're right, Aaron, they did. exactly what it did. I used to have some open GT40s that I had on my diorama, and I went ahead and sold them, even though they were racers. And I sold those GT40. I had the one Mega G, Ken Miles, the blue #1, and then I had a Mega G Plus version. And I sold both those cars for like 160, 170 bucks. It was insane. Used 80 and 90 bucks a piece, basically. And since I mentioned them, sorry, the camera, I can turn the camera here so you guys can actually see where I'm at. So I'm working on the upper row in the corner here, but since we've been on the GT40s, here's one of the ones that I call the unicorn ones, and these are the ones that were done by this Australian distributor. I'm trying to see if they had their name on here somewhere. Yeah, Toy Traders Party Limited. But they did 6 of these GT40s in the Super G Plus chassis, and they get pretty pricey. I know I personally paid $130 for this car myself, and that's actually a good deal. So if you ever see these and it's a really good price, you better buy it, because even if you don't want it, you can turn right around and sell it and make a lot of money on it. Oop, I heard it clicking. Sorry, I'll back off. Here, I'm going to. There we go. That way I can go behind the camera to read the comments and not have to worry about it. That way I can go behind the camera to read the comments and not have to worry about it. And you just heard my phone start the live feed. That's awesome. Cool. YouTube's got ghosts in the machine. Here we have the Super G Plus version of the Caprice cop car. Oop, about dropped it. That's awesome. And there you can see, like I said, this is the packaging like they should be doing it all the time, in my opinion. Show you all the different cars you can get. You know, get you excited about buying the next one. Give you something to shoot for. So, those are the only 2 Super G Plus cars that I have new in the package. They're worth some money, especially that GT40. And now, as you guys can see what I'm seeing, you're going to see here. I'll close the door. We're down to our final 8, the grade 8. We'll finish off with the SRTs that I have new in the package, and then we'll do 4 of the Hot Wheels electric racing stock cars. Actually, we'll do 5 of them. I'm going to do that one in the corner to get rid of them. And then this little section over here will be the F1s and stuff like that, Tycos. And then here's our shelves of Cars and Crews and Pro Tinkers and Car Feedies and stuff. So I'm going to get to see a lot of stuff get wrapped up. Sorry, had to slide around there and get something to drink. I got to go and get another stack of my toilet paper, so give me just a second. Oh. And if you were with me the whole time and you heard me mention on the Look What Scott's Got Scale Auto, I got these right here. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd moved my camera. I got these from Scale Auto before everybody and their brother, the prices start going crazy. So this is a chaparral, I believe, or something like that. Can't remember exactly what they call it, but that's the number 9 version. I showed you. I've got the Super Coops kit set that it came with. There's a, as you can see there, that's the black glass version. And they also have, like with my Super Coupe set, the see-through collector series version, which has the interior and the motor back there in the back that you can see. So there's 2 different versions of that car, not only SRT, but they made it in a Mega G too. So. And then this is a Porsche. Oops, I heard it clicking. 956. And this is on the SRT chassis, obviously. And I've got the black Porsche 959 I was fortunate enough to purchase, and it's on its way. So we'll get to see that here real soon. A couple of cool cars. Love those SRT chassis. Those little box motors are really easy to just pop in, pop out. You're done. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Like I said, the computer's like 6 feet away from me right now, and then my camera shows me opposite of what is happening on the TV. And then the chat's over here on one side. And I'm trying to stay away from that camera so you guys don't hear the Russian roulette wheel or whatever. Click, 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 click of the shutter, trying to focus. And I will try to upgrade my camera. But right now, Scott's personal money, like I said, all this stuff I buy with that has to do with slot cars, 90% of it is from selling other slot cars, and I may fill in the difference with my personal money. But so if I don't sell slot cars, then there's very few things coming in to Look What Scott's Got. So when you see stuff come in, that means Scott sold cars, and because I am not naturally wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying I'm against it. If someone wants to donate me a few million, I'll be more than happy to take it. All righty. We've all seen this stock car before, the Bill Elliott Ford. Nothing special about it. And then here's the AFX Indy car. They call it the Cart, blue and white, if anybody was wanting to know specifically what they called this car. And this car, they do have the date on the back of this, 2001, so it's 21 years old. Anaheim Hills, California, before they moved to Vegas for Race Masters. Pretty cool. Wish they'd have numbered them. I'm still amazed that I've been on here this long and I got 6 people still here with me. So thank you, all 6 of you. Like I said, even if there was nobody here, I'd do it, but it just makes it better for me whenever I get to interact with people. So thank you for helping me out. Yeah, I'm not going to mix up my Tyco and my AFX together. So when I do wall number 3, as we called it, then I'll start putting back in there. But that's not going to stop me from taking those down and going ahead and cleaning them up. So. And here we have like an alternate version of the Mark Markin Valvoline car. This is the harder one to find. I actually see this one on eBay now for like 50 or 60 or 70 bucks. I mean, they've got it pretty pricey right now because, like I said, it's been harder to find. And then the one of the Ward Burton Exity Tauruses. I like it because it's got the lightning on it and stuff. Pretty cool. You know, actually called a NASCAR. not a stalker. Put those there. I'll worry about getting another box when I'm done with the live feed. Start the Tycos in. That way I can have some sort of semblance of knowing what's in a box before I start unpacking it. I heard it clicking just because it was trying to focus on me. Piece of shit. Highest rated webcam according to Amazon. Here we have the vaunted Jeremy Mayfield number 12. There's only 2 versions of this Mobile One car from Jeremy Mayfield. And then here we have John Andretti. This is his Pontiac Grand Prix Cheerios car. We've seen it earlier in my case. And we also saw it as the when I compared it with the Dodge Intrepid, because that's one of the 2 Dodge Intrepids that they made with that livery. I love my Tycos, but I love my AFX too. It's crazy. When you're growing up, you don't understand that there's 2 different companies. I didn't. When I got my first slot car set, guys, I was in the elementary, and it was like I said, that Tyco. It only came with 1 car, and then my parents, Santa, whoever, the very next set that I got was an AFX set, and then from there forward, that's all I bought was AFX. But I kept buying Tyco cars because I like their cars too. So, like I said, it's like having kids and trying to pick which one you like the best. I like Tyco. I like my Aurora AFX, old and new on both sides. And then, obviously I've invested a bunch of money in Auto World stuff, and it's not particularly to race them as much as I like the way the cars look. I mean, they do a great job on their liveries and their tampos and stuff. And, with a little bit of work, you can get them to run. But when you spend $35 and $40 for a car, you really shouldn't have to work on it to get it to run, in my opinion. All right. And in case anybody was wondering, I do have one of those Mark Martins that I have available for sale. I don't have it listed yet, but if you want it, you can contact me and we can wheel and deal on it. I do have two of these Ward Burton number 22 Pontiac NASCAR cars. So I have a couple of those. I've got one on eBay right now, and I also have another one. So I've got two of them for sale besides this one. No, like I said, if you missed that part of it, there's three different Caterpillar cars. They've got the one that was a set only, which was the Dodge Intrepid. Then they have this Pontiac Grand Prix. And then they have their set car, which is the David Green number 96 Monte Carlo. And out of the three Caterpillar cars, this one is the second most desirable. And the most desirable is the Dodge Intrepid. There we go. All righty. So I'm going to set this box out of the way. I'll reposition the camera. And like I do with all of these little live packing videos, I'll kind of go in reverse from how we started, other than the unpacking and repacking of all the cars, or, you know, bubble wrap if it was the cases before. So let me set this out of the way. I'll reposition the camera to more of where I was at before, and then we'll wrap up tonight. And as quickly as this went, honestly, guys, I think I'm going to do another hour and a half tomorrow night of another section of the wall. So if you guys want to join in and watch me pack it, it went fairly quickly and it was fairly painless. And I enjoyed it. It was like a little trip down memory lane. You know, me and my memories, that's part of the fun of this hobby to me. As you can see, before I close the door, that this is its own little night by itself. As you can see, there's a lot to take in there, not to mention all the car feedies down there in their boxes. So those shelves will take a little bit of time all by themselves. So they'll be their own little segment. Had to buy those shelves for those Pro Tinker Toys exclusives when they started coming out with boxes, and there's no way to hang them on the wall. And it was kind of twofold because I needed someplace to move the car feedies to, because my big rigs had shoved them out. That case was meant for the big rigs, and the car feedies were there just to help fill space. And I had the big rigs to cover it. And it was time to move the car feedies. All right, sorry, trying to dodge a dog. All righty. So, hey, let me thank all 10 of you that are still with me tonight. I appreciate it. Don't know when you joined in, but we packed away all of my, here, I'll move over. I'm trying to, just like I say, stay as far away from the camera as I can so it doesn't click on you. We packed away all my Ford GT40s. I found out, thanks to my sleuthy people that were watching, that I actually am missing 2 of the GT40s now. It's the same car number. It's just a different chassis. I'm missing the number 8 SRT and the number 8 Mega G. And I do have the paintable Mark IV on its way, so we'll be able to see that next week. Hey man, no problem, Ryburn. Thank you. There's no crying in slot car racing. Exactly. That's why. That's on the door before you enter my room. No whining, no crying. Either grow a pair or get out. Other than the packing, we had a little bit of a look what Scott's got. I did get a what I'm going to call a seller. Basically, it's a cost cutter. Kellogg's Monte Carlo, Terry Labonte. Got this from Scale Auto. If you're ever looking to try to get some old Tyco stuff or old AFX stuff, he's on eBay. He puts out new stuff every Tuesday. And sometimes you can get it pretty reasonable. Sometimes people get in a pissing match, and you better just wait till the next week. But this is one of those times I was able to get something. So This one will be available for sale soon, or if now, if anybody wants it. And then I'm going to hold it this way just to show, but there's the first runner that I got, or first show car that I got was the 300ZX in the black version. It's on a 440X2 chassis with chrome rims, and it is brand new on the bottom. I mean, so, and I don't see any scratches where this thing's even rubbed against a guardrail. So I'm guessing when they bought it, it went straight to a case. And then these are the two cars. The reason why I bought this whole set in the first place, because I already own the set, and it only comes with two pieces of 15-inch track and like 6 pieces of 9 1/4. But it was for the cars, because they don't have very many of these F1 Mega G chassis bodied cars. And that way, if I had them for runners, for people that could come over and run, because I got the whole track set with cars for $70, and you would pay that for just the car. So I always look at trying to get the most bang for my buck, so to speak, and that was the best way to do it, buy the whole damn track used and get the cars with it, and it came complete. So it wasn't a bad night. Got a cellar, got one for the case, got a couple of runners, got some spare track to either keep or use on another layout at somewhere down the road. We packed up all the GT40s that I have. A very good evening. Had, I think at one time, 16, 17 people watching. So I appreciate you all that have stuck around through it all, or if you're just now catching on at the end. Appreciate you for doing that, and try to go back and check out some of those Ford GT40s. There's quite a few of them that you may or may not have seen or didn't know that they came in another chassis. And so, like I said, since that went kind of quick tonight, and there is no going to be look what Scott got tomorrow because it's Sunday, and our mail doesn't quit moving. It just doesn't get delivered on Sunday, in case you knew that. So didn't know that. So your mail's still moving. It's just it doesn't make it to your door on a Sunday. So we won't get a look what Scott's got until Monday, but I have had confirmation, if they're correct, that we've got some packages coming in on Monday. So tomorrow night, I say we finish off the rest of the Aurora AFX Mega G and Mega G Pluses in the collector series on section number 3. That way I can fill up that box, and then we can start working on the Tyco stuff or the shelves behind me. But if I get out ruled tomorrow night, then we'll go from there. But tomorrow night I'm going to plan on doing that. So if you are interested, you want to see some more of what I got on the wall, because I've got some pretty interesting I'm looking at it while I'm talking to you, some pretty interesting Mega G and Mega G Plus and collector series cars that you may or may not have seen. And I'd like to be able to share those with you guys and see if you know where some more of those cars are that I'm missing from my collection that I would like to add to the wall. But once again, like I start every video, I'm going to end the video. If you're a first-time subscriber or a first-time visitor to the channel, I'd please encourage you to subscribe. Do the old LSS below. Spread the word. And then if you are a subscriber, I want to say thank you for watching and supporting my channel. I'm 351 strong right now, and so I'm 649 away from making my first dollar off of YouTube. So thank you all for being some of the very first people to join the channel, because my goal is to have 5,000 subscribers at some point in time on this channel. So I've got a long way to go. So if you like my channel, you like H.O. Slot Car content, please check out my description below. Check out Dan with Slot Valley Racing. You can simply hit the little pound sign. It'll take you right to his page. You can also check out Steve at Stockpile Hobbies, him and Enzo, if you're kind of curious on seeing the hobby being pushed forward or passed forward to another generation, because him and his son, his young son, he's showing him how to work on the cars and modify them. It's really cool. We also have that slot car guy out of Australia. He's normally 1/24th and 1/32nd scale, but he's got an H.O. track that he's building, and he's always taking input on it. And it'd be kind of cool to watch him build that up. So I suggest going by and checking him out. Mark's Slot Car Garage is also listed down there below. He's just started up his channel. He's got a really cool track that he's got set up in his garage. And he's got one that he shows you his wiring and stuff like that. So very informative channel. Be sure and go out and subscribe to his. There's Buckeye H.O. Drag Racing. If you're into the slot car drag racing, he's got a drag strip set up in his garage. and he runs races, real quick videos. I mean, like 2 to 3 minutes tops of showing some cars, and then they're over and done. So it is pretty quick to see some racing real quick if you just got an itch to see some drag racing on the slot car track. And last but not least, I'm going to throw out there, they don't need any more production or help, but they help me out. So I try to help them out by throwing out my name on their channel whenever they're live feeding. So protinkertoys.com. Please let Tim and Ryan know what you think the starting price for the auction cars should be for this next coming week on the featurette that they just did on Friday. You can review those cars, email them. I think it's a support@protinkertoys.com, and let them know what you think good starting price is. I also have a link to their website, so you can go subscribe to all of their media connections they have with YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. They're way connected, more than I am. You can tell they got somebody that does that dedicated full time. So anyway, yeah, support the people that support the hobby. Check out Terry Harden with Harden Creek. If you catch in the chat about the hard wiring with the variable power supply, that's a cheap hack for 20 or 25 bucks. It works. Somebody from the channel's actually done it, uses it, bought 2 of them. That's something that's way cheaper to do than it is to buy a complete, just separate power pack, power system like I did from Viper. Like I said, I could buy 4 of those for what I paid for 1 of the Viper, and I could have 1 on each individual lane that could control it, in case you had somebody novice racing with experts and you didn't want the power cranked up for them to be able to fly off. You could crank it down so they could still enjoy some fun. So that's a cool idea. So be sure and check that out. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for spending some of your Saturday night evening with me. If you were here live, if you weren't here live and you're catching this video later, like most people do, because I understand we all have things to do with life, please leave a comment below, interact with the channel. It helps the algorithms with YouTube, gets it out there. If you share it with one of your friends or you paste it somewhere on some social media, that just helps the viewership get out there. And that's the whole idea, is I'm trying to grow the HO community. So once again, thank you to everybody that does at least stop by to watch the channel. I do appreciate it. I really appreciate the people that take the time to subscribe and the loyal people that come in for the live feeds. That's awesome. I appreciate it. So if you want some more of it, catch me tomorrow night. I'll try to give you an hour or 2 notice before I'm going to go live like I did tonight, because I am going to be doing some moving tomorrow. But I will do live again tomorrow night, and I'm just going to make the executive decision. We're going to do the rest of the Aurora AFX, the Mega Gs, and the Collector Series on Section 3, the wall that I'm pointing at over here right now. We're going to do that bad boy tomorrow night. So that'd be a good way to start off the new week on a Sunday night and get ready for the work week. So until tomorrow night, everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a good day at church if you go. And catch me tomorrow evening, and we'll wrap up some more cars, and I'll throw out some more history if I have it. Until then, everybody take care, be safe. Light some sparks and melt some plastic. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night, guys.